let's move on to One Piece 954. What's it called? The worst of the worst. This actually has a nice little bit of seasoning when it comes to potential setup. I would say for what's gonna happen
There's a
next.
lot to talk about.
I think we're gonna get disappointed with the Zoans though, because I have a strong feeling these numbers are awakened Zoans.
Oh, wait, real quick before we keep going. You said this is chapter 954, like a dragon growing wings.
Oh yeah, my bad. I used a Black Clover title. My bad. It's like a dragon glowing wings. You're right.
All right, no, we good. Keep going.
Yeah, so these numbers I think are gonna. I have a strong feeling they're gonna get revealed as awakened Zoans, and that is really gonna kill the Zoan Devil Fruit users for me. So I feel like we're gonna close up on that, huh?
Why would they kill it for you? What if they
because that means they're gonna be basically what we saw in Magellan's place. Those jailers. These are exactly what they look like.
Just they look like giants, though.
Yeah,
they look like big things, but I mean that's basically what Magellan's things were. They were huge. They weren't like as tall as these guys were, but still.
I don't remember them being like that.
I mean, they were big, but they were nowhere close to like the numbers big. Like these numbers are looking like multiple stories high. Like,
let me put it this way.
Would it be real?
Does it matter if they're huge or not, though? Like, if they're just like they're gonna look, some of them are gonna look goofy. I feel like because it's One Piece, but at the same time, if they just are what they were in Magellan's thing, which is they're just like some humanoid fusion of an animal, are you really gonna be that hyped for Zoans? I don't think it's gonna change anyone's opinion. I think most people will be like, "Well, whatever. They weren't that great."
You saying this is basically going to be all of the zones that we've been wondering?
Yeah, I think this is about to wrap it up. Like. They about to put a bow on it right here. You're going to be like, oh, if they say these numbers are awakened Zoans, I don't need anything else from the Zoan Devil Fruit. That's it. It's been tied up. There's nothing left.
I think these things are going to be whatever species Kaido is.
So a bunch
like
of dragon
members or some shit. Yeah. That's what I think.
What ours is.
Oh, I think they're all going to be mythical zones?
That's what I'm thinking.
No, he's talking about like the actual species, like
whatever type of creature Oars and Kaido are. These horned creatures.
Oh. I see.
Because if you look at their silhouettes, they all have horns.
Yeah.
Also, just like Kaido.
Yeah, that's true.
And they all some big niggas. And they all have those, a number of them have the same type of spiked bats that Kaido has. So I'm like, are they technically from his clan or whatever his homeland is or something? Hail?
So
that's that part.
I guess it's good to see that we've been talking about Scratchman, or at least I have for a while.
Yeah.
Figured out what he was doing.
He been chilling with the numbers, man.
Yo, he a hoe. He a hoe.
He's not though. That's the thing. Is the sad part about it is you want him to be because he looks so goofy, but he's raw. He gonna drop somebody. He gonna catch a couple.
How is he wrong? The nigga betrayed. He betrayed everybody else in his generation.
I don't think he ever betrayed him. I think he was just like he just looks out for himself.
I mean that's I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. That kind of makes his character better to me. Like, he got over on the niggas.
I don't like the way he looks. I'm with you, Gramps. I'm not a fan of him, but I'm not gonna.
You've been here, nigga, like how he looks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I'd be lying to say that like I should put a little bit of respect on his name for where he's at. Like Oda is definitely putting him in a very high position. I mean, look at what we saw happen to Basil. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy.
Like trash.
Yeah, he got whole big time. I cannot wait to see fucking King of Lightning's reaction because he was definitely hyping that nigga up for the last however many months. I'm ready to throw L's all in that nigga direction.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I definitely had the most hype or potential behind Basil for minus Kid for the Supernovas. But no, man. He's been disappointing me every arc. Every moment.
I always thought he was kind of trash.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that scene in the future stuff I felt had potential, but whatever. I lie. He's third on my list because the Rogue is definitely second.
Yeah, you can't nobody sleep on a Rogue. If you sleeping on
No, not no more. Not no more. Folks was definitely sleeping on him before, but not no more.
but yeah, I was disappointed that personally with the whole Scratchman Apoo thing. I could have technically saw if it was Drake, ex Drake, who was low key working with Kaido beforehand, just because the zone type thing. But I don't know, it just didn't seem like it worked.
Yeah,
But
it was kind of random.
yeah.
Like right now, it's like this kid is practically like a Kabuto or something like that.
My bad.
No, but it's interesting. To be honest, it's more. I had a couple things about this chapter, but what got me the most is simply the takeover that Law had of Hawkins. Like that to me didn't make any sense. I mean, like as far as Law being stronger than Hawkins, that I'm okay with. But how this exactly happened, I'm very curious about.
It's like Basil was so trash that once the two of them left, like once X-Drake was like, "Oh, I'm about to go do something. You got this, right?" He was like, "Yeah, I got this." And as soon as he did that,
yeah, bro, don't worry, I got it covered.
Right, he low dipped his ass.
As soon as he did that, he got dropped. Like, wow, come on, Basil.
I just don't get it. I mean, homie had like the effing like handcuffs on him, right? So it's like, how would a position like this even like begin 1-on-1?
Law without the handcuffs, bro.
I don't get it. Like that was all confusing me. But what they did show is that there's like a shadow figure like with Law right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, who the F is that? Unless like he was the one who actually ended up helping Law. Then it's like,
I heard a theory already that it was Drake.
Really? Why?
That Drake. So I don't know if you guys remember when Law first got captured and he got thrown into the cell. I believe Hawkins was like, "Yo, Drake, why your ass acting weird, dude?" And they didn't really poke too much into it or whatever. But yeah, they're suspecting that it might have been Drake who, I guess maybe got the cuffs up off of him, and then they jumped Hawkins, and maybe potentially ex Drake might be trying to help out Law because he's still he's like a spy for the world government, kind of like how what's the nigga that gave Law his devil fruit, Corazon, Doflamingo's brother.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
How he was a spy for the world government and so forth. There's a theory saying that basically X Drake is the same type of character or whatever, and he's basically doing the same thing that Corazon did for Law way back when.
I don't believe that theory because I don't believe they needed two of them to drop Hawkins.
Well, but the thing is, for it to seem so easy, I can see that though. Because it seemed like Law was already in a very weakened state, and then he still dropped a fresh Hawkins. He would have had to.
The only way to save Hawkins' character right now is to have him switch sides. Like that's it. Like if he doesn't switch sides and he's still like on Kaido's side at the end of this, like, or he doesn't join up with like Kid again, he's like boom, drop to the bottom as a character. Like Jewel Bonnie is about to jump him in terms of
shit.
He's already at the bottom.
Supernovas. Really? You think Jewel Bonnie's under him? I mean, over him?
Well, I don't mean actual bottom. I mean like he's in the bottom third of Supernovas.
Oh,
yeah.
Always has.
You might have to re-rank them again.
He was up there.
Damn, even Killer? I mean,
what? Killer's above him? Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Killer's supposed to be like on the level of Zoro. So yeah.
Nah,
I mean, no.
He don't know Zoro level, bro.
I don't know.
I think Zoro's stronger than some of these niggas.
Two of them had to attack Zoro.
Zoro already dropped Killer. Let's not forget. So
and Killer also dropped Zoro. What do you mean?
What?
One stab and Zoro was out for the longest. What do you mean?
No, you be really taking these things to heart, bro. That never would have
Bro,
happened.
Zoro was getting jumped, man. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's what I'm saying. It never would have happened if he wasn't getting jumped. Like,
Plus, he didn't have his third sword, so you can kind of say he was nerfed.
Bro, and this man was suffering from the smile shit. What are you talking, bro? He was
y'all
nerfed
doing
too.
the perfect segues, anyways. Because speaking of Zoro, there's that theory of that he might be the one to take out Kaido, which I do not believe.
Stop
But
it. Stop it.
because of the sword.
Stop.
I don't believe it, but that's what people are saying, bro. I've heard it.
I'd be very upset.
I do like the sword's name though, because shout out to third Hokage from Naruto, Enma. But other than that, yeah, like that's a reach.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
But then you got to
I
think about it
understand
this
it's
way,
the
though.
same sword that injured Kaido, but nah,
But
nigga, Zoro ain't finna take this
I
man
can
out.
believe how they reached though now after the end of this chapter, because now Big Mom and Kaido have that alliance. So you go, well, maybe Luffy takes out Big Mom, maybe Zoro takes out Kaido.
We gotta touch on that. So
That
it's
would
like,
keep Luffy
what the fuck? Like,
long.
what exactly does this mean? Like this? I mean, like what? I mean, two Yonkos and like especially these two Yonkos teaming up together, like that's huge.
I guess, but it still is like in the goofy background of One Piece, so I just can't.
If
I just can't
Zoro
put the weight
took
on it.
out Kaido, that puts Zoro at or above Luffy's level in my eyes.
I mean, I think most people secretly believe that he is, but
Low key. Low key.
but you just can't say it out loud. So I think that
Zoro fanboys.
oh yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of Zoro fanboys too.
You have to admit from what we've seen post time skip, there's a case to be made. I still don't. I know realistically it's not true, but there's a case to be made that they could be pretty close. Just because I haven't seen Zoro's
I don't
back
think
yet.
so.
Yeah, I know. I totally understand why you don't think so. I understand why most people don't think so. I'm just saying from the Zoro fan, I already switched sides. So from the Zoro fanboy, I mean, there might be a case to be made until otherwise stated.
I could see directly after the time skip, both of them having very closely related armament armor strength until Luffy, leveled up a bit over these past couple arcs.
Yeah.
But that's still not enough to put Zoro at Luffy's level.
I know. Like I said, people think it but don't want to say it out loud.
Like I think before you saw Gear 4, I would be right there with you. I'd agree. But since the day we seen that, and he pulled that out against what's his name, Doflamingo. I don't think it's been. Yeah, I don't think it's been close since then.
I think the only thing for us as people that we need to see, or at least for me, and maybe speaking for the Zoro fanboy community, we just need to see him get dropped by a really strong person. Because the closest thing we've gotten is that fight you were just talking about with Killer and the Fox, but that wasn't sufficient. Like we need to see him go against a really strong person, see him go to his max, and then get dropped like Luffy's been doing. But we haven't seen that. And that's why I think people think that there's this gap there. It's like the Saitama versus Goku thing. Like the argument's only still there until we see Saitama go all right, this is my max. We haven't heard that from Zoro yet. And I think we just need that. So people don't believe it. So you know exactly where they stand.
Yep.
I haven't heard Zoro hit his max yet. I want him to, so we can move on. But
even though it's kind of questionable when Doflamingo had his bird cage going around the whole place and he was shrinking the size of it, and Zoro and the rest of everybody else was struggling to keep it out. Technically, if his hockey would have been strong enough, he should have been able to slice through the strings, right?
No, I don't put too much into that because Fujitora was also helping them push it. I think so. I don't
exactly.
I'm not gonna. I think that was just a plot thing. I'm not gonna say, oh, Fujitora is weaker than Doflamingo now. He might be, but I'm not just gonna say that just because he.
No, he was ready to take him out. I highly doubt that.
Huh?
I don't think Fujitora is weaker than Doflamingo.
No, yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that.
Oh.
Just because he didn't cut his strings, I'm not going to say that Fujitora is weaker.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, was there another plot point 'Cause I feel like those were the three big ones. You guys think he's gonna get both of those swords or just one? I feel
I
like
think just one.
potentially get both.
I think he's just going to get one,
Yeah.
but it is questionable as far as to what's going to happen to the other sword. I mean, considering they were a pair.
Yeah,
I think he'll get one because one is the sword that he can't that the girl his friend gave him, so he can't give that one up.
right.
And then the other
That
sword,
curse sword.
yeah, the cursed one. There's a next level to that one that I think he's gonna get. So I think he'll just have those three probably.
Mm.
It's very shaky because didn't they say that it was what's the name of that demon that Zoro pulled out when he went against the giraffe
Ashura?
buddy? Yeah, didn't they say that those are Ashura swords?
Who?
The swords that
The two
Enma and
ones
the
that
other
they talked about?
No, those are
I
Odin
thought they
swords.
said those were the old king swords.
Yeah, Odin.
Odin's old swords.
And I put
right,
more
but I
respect on
think
Odin too though.
I could have sworn she said that those were his Ashura swords or something like that.
No, one is the
No.
demon sword, and then one is like the heavenly something sword.
Yeah. What I will say though is that my theory, if Zoro doesn't get both of them, is that this other one is just gonna go to Kinimo. Just because somebody has, I think they're trying to make Lord Orochi a bigger plot point than I think he should be. But like, since the other one is basically like the snake slaying sword, I think that one is going to be given to whoever they want to basically. I don't know. Maybe it'll be Momonosuke. Like he'll just have it because it's his dad's sword. But that sword is going to tie into Orochi somehow because it's a snake slayer. Like I just feel like they're going to have some relationship with the two of them.
Mm-hmm. But so yeah, and I now do put like Odin. I like have a higher opinion of him now. If he's the one that actually cut Kaido,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean that itself, I don't think anyone else really can do it. I don't think anyone in the show in Wano right now can do it.
I'm just surprised you didn't put that respect on his name earlier. I definitely felt like he had to be up there. Like if you look at his squad,
No, I mean I thought he was up there, but like I think cutting Kaido is completely different than just being up there.
but I think you also got to think time frame. When he cut Kaido, like Kaido was probably still on his come up. Like he
You
probably
think so?
just beat Gecko Moria at that point. Yeah, Kaido wasn't. He didn't own that place yet. I would argue that he probably became a Yonko around the same time
I
that
kind of
he got
subscribe to
control
your
of Wano.
theory of at a certain point niggas stop getting stronger. So I was just thinking, 20 years ago Kaido was still Kaido.
No,
Okay,
I
maybe
wouldn't say.
not.
I would think 20 years ago he was still a come up, a young come up. I would say as soon as he owned Wano, that would be the time where I think he'd stop getting stronger. Or when he got that label Yonko, like yeah, he's done. He's not growing no more. Well, I guarantee we'll get a time skip of it just to get like what they
Get a
was like
flashback, you mean?
younger. Yeah, flashback. Sorry,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
and I
Especially
think
since the
then,
alliance now. Yeah.
yeah, I think then we'll see that he was probably a bit younger because I highly doubt that he was like that level back then.
Hmm. But they it seems like they're trying to like scale up this war that's going to happen to make it a bigger event
Uh,
than originally. What I thought is like
which
the
is going to be worse for us
why
because that means way more filler fights.
True.
It means way more filler fights. The bigger this is, that means everybody got to get like a chapter or chapter and or half a chapter of, oh, I'm fighting this semi-important guy.
Right. Again, it brings back like to the question of how serious this alliance of Kaido and Big Mom really is gonna be. Because if they actually go like serious, like they're legitimately teaming up squads, then that's huge. It's like now it's like they barely had a chance before, but now they introduced one the numbers and then two Big Mom squad is now on Kaido squad. Because there were arguments and theories that Big Mom was going to help out Luffy, which is the reason why they're going to be able to take out Kaido. But now that they
Right.
teamed up, it's like the only thing that makes sense now is that all the people that we initially thought that they were bringing into their army from like the prisons and like the Yakuza bosses, like now I think all of them are going to get a significant power boost from at least our initial theories. Because they need the straight up manpower now to be able to do work. So like again, for example, just since I said it, got the Yakuza crime bosses. some of them might low key be on like the tier of like some Big Mom commanders, or at least be able to take out some of these numbers. You know what I mean?
I would say numbers, but definitely not Big Mom commanders. No way.
Well,
I think that's what the nine.
Like, okay, so I mean, I don't have a direct correlation. All I'm saying is that
I think that's what the nine sheets are for.
Some easy filler. Now they got to take out some like serious contenders now that we probably didn't think would even be able to hold a candle to them. But now they have to simply because if they want to win, right? So,
well, I mean, Big Mom's crew isn't even really there though.
Wait, what?
Big Mom's crew isn't even really there, so I don't even.
I mean, but they are though, low key. I mean, let's not forget how Big Mom got there. Like, all her main people were like on that, like what? On like maybe one or two ships.
Like, in there.
Yeah. But
I don't think Cracker was there. Like I don't think
they healing up. They healing up. But Jug, I got a question for you. How do you feel about a Queen and Lady Smoothie team up?
Oh God, really? So
Smoothie don't.
I feel like that could happen
while they doing work or something. Like, wait, what you mean?
Like no, they don't do shit.
I feel like they could do a combo fight together against somebody.
But they don't do shit.
Smoothie's gonna hold them back.
Huh?
Smoothie's gonna hold them back.
Smoothie's gonna hold them back? Man, stop sleeping on Smoothie. What you mean?
Huh?
Bro, we know that Smoothie is one of the most useless commanders we've seen so far.
Wow. What?
Like,
bro, I'm more impressed with Smoothie than I am with Queen. What you mean?
What?
Yes.
This man dropped on Big Mom. What do you mean?
Exactly, and did nothing.
Sleep, nigga.
That's my point.